Hi everyone, welcome to Bridget's Real Estate. Today I am coming at you live from my short-term rental investment property. It's located up here in Montgomery, Vermont. We are about 10 minutes away from a ski resort called Jay Peak. They call it a Four Seasons resort because there's something to do every season. We've got mountain biking and an indoor water park for the spring and summer season. There's tons of fall foliage around here when it comes to the fall. And then of course during the winter, it is skiing, snowboarding. There's the Vast, which is a snowmobiling trail that's around here. So this was one of the areas that we really focused on for our first short-term rental investment property. And that's why I'm here today, is I'm here to talk to you about how to get started in the Airbnb side of things and how to take that first step towards your first time short-term rental investment property. Here we go. So how do you get started on the investment property? I'll give a little bit of background of how my story was and how we got started on getting this property. I was transitioning jobs and I was leaving a corporate job to go into more of a smaller consulting firm. And when I did that, I had money in my 401k that I was going to roll over, right? Our background, we've always had our investments in stocks. And so just like many other people during the time of the downturn for stocks, we lost quite a bit of money. And now finally we're starting to recoup that money, but that was a very strong awakening on not to have all of my portfolio in one basket, right? So I knew the next round, what I really wanted to focus on was expanding into real estate and into investment properties. So when I left my corporate job, I did take my W-2, or not my W-2, I took my 401k and I did roll that over into, we have an investment managing company that we use. So I rolled that money over into that 401k and I took that same amount that I was rolling over, it was about 50 grand. I took that and I pulled that from our joint account that we had with this company, and I wanted to utilize that as my down payment, right? That was my goal. So I put money, rolled that over, and now I was diversifying. And my husband is not as big as a risk taker as I am, but I was able to get him on board by saying, hey, let's look at a place here in Vermont. My husband was born in Alaska, raised in Vermont. He lived in Vermont years and years and years. And we come back here every single year because his family's still there. So I said, let's look in Vermont. That way I knew he would be a little more comfortable in an area that he loved. So we looked in Vermont. And another thing was when we were looking in these areas, we had family members reach out and say, hey, maybe we would like to come into this investment with you. And that worked out great. So we did allow one of the family members to come in with us, and they assisted in part of the down payment, and we put in an offer on this home in December of 2023, and our offer was accepted, and we were able to purchase this place. And now we purchased it in December. We got it up and running for renting by February of 2024, and it's been up and running ever since. So what does that mean for you? Let's say you want to go in all by yourself and you're ready to start. You're ready to start right away. Well, then the first area you need to start is your research, right? Finding an area that you're comfortable with. If you're going to be self-managing this, I would suggest to have it in an area that's somewhat close by you. If you are fine with operating on a property management, then you can look all over the place. The two areas that I use to research what a income potential would be for a property is AirDNA and Rabu, and I can link those two below. But look at what's been done in the market currently and what is being brought in these areas. That will kind of dictate which market is a good performing market, which area is not so good performing. The next thing would be to hop on Airbnb and see who your competitors would be, right? What other homes are out there that you find interesting that you would want to stay at, that you would maybe want to use as a model or something to inspire you to create your Airbnb. Once you have that identified, the market area identified, then it's setting your price point, right? And with your price point, it's talking with a mortgage lender and seeing what you are pre-approved for. And down the road, we can go into different types of loans that are available, second home mortgages, investment properties, DSCR loans. There's a host of avenues out there that can provide you lending for the home that you are looking for. So once you have your market area picked out and you know the price point that you're pre-approved for, then it's time to hop in and see what's available on the market. And you know, there's many different thoughts. I am a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent in Florida. And, you know, we constantly hear, well, what about interest rates? What about this? What about that? I'll tell you right now, our interest rate on this home was 6.9%, right? So a very high interest rate. We bought that in December. Now what we're starting to see is we are starting to see interest rates a little bit lower, but we are also starting to see negotiating power happen, right? Homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. And with that, that allows you negotiating power, right? So let's say you get in, maybe you can't even negotiate the house that you want. It's full price offer and that's what it is. That's okay. If you've done the research and you're in this to win this, your projected revenue and your costs, you should calculate all that to make sure you've got a daily rate that can support your mortgage payment. And that's what we're doing right now is in a worst case scenario, we've got 6.9% interest rate. You know, our mortgage is hopefully the highest we're ever gonna see it right now. And on our high performing months, we're doing fantastic. We're covering the mortgage, we're covering utilities, we're covering anything else that kind of comes our way. And this is at our worst case scenario. Come later this year, we're going to refinance. Once we refinance, our mortgage is lower and our profit will be higher. So we're learning to operate right now at a worst case scenario and we are surviving and thriving. And we are getting prepared for that day when we see the point on where, again, interest rates drop, we're ready to refinance. We can all take an even bigger breath of fresh air. But when those interest rates drop, what that means to you is more people are going to be coming into the market. More buyers are going to be going after that same exact house that you might have your eye on. So there is no time like the present. As long as you do your market research, understand what you are pre-approved for now, understand your cost for if you want to do some remodeling, if the house does have some fixer-uppers that need to be completed, understand all of your cost and just ensure that can you operate right now at this worst case scenario if you have that high interest rate? Can you succeed on a nightly rate, and how many nights do you need to book that month to make sure you're covered? But once you've confirmed you can do all that, then put that offer in, get that house and get started. If you're interested in starting your journey of investing in a home to then turn out to be a short-term rental, I would love to be here to help you.